right, let's get this party started. I want to teach you about the 5 love languages and why they are game-changing for relationships. What are your love languages? It's like hacking into your partner's brain and knowing exactly how to be the best boyfriend or girlfriend to that person. Who doesn't want that? Let's just go over them quickly. We have physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, and acts of service. Now, we all can appreciate love in all 5 ways, but each person has a top 2 that are more important to them than the others. And a common mistake that people make is that they give love in the way that they like to receive love. So that means that you're not speaking the same language, or you're not speaking the right language for your partner. And so we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's go through each one. Let's start with words of affirmation. So this could be a written text, a love letter, an email, verbally, any sort of compliment or words of appreciation. That is what we mean by words of affirmation. Quality time. Now, quality versus quantity, that is really important here, because quality time doesn't have to mean 7 hours of the day, super intense quality. Quality could be an hour of undivided attention, no phones, one-on-one, bonding, connecting, having a good time, communicating, where you're truly present, connecting with that person, eye contact, not just like sitting on the separate ends of the couch on your phones in the same room. None of that stuff. It's real quality time, quality conversation, quality time. Now, receiving of gifts, I feel gets a little bit of a bad reputation. People automatically think, oh, like you're materialistic, you like just getting things, expensive things. It doesn't have to be that at all. It could be small things like chocolate or flowers, or picking up something that you know the person likes, her favorite perfume, his favorite cologne, any small things, big things. It could be anything. A token of appreciation, picking up things that you know the person needs to, buys regularly, and you pick it up for them. So that's the love language, gift receiving. So acts of service. I like to look at this one as taking away a task that your partner needs to do and doing it for them. So making dinner, doing their laundry, cleaning, cooking, putting away dishes, filling their car up with gas, doing anything that you know that they need to do and doing it for them. So, and it could be on a smaller scale, like you're getting a snack for yourself, bring them a snack. Little things like that where you're doing something for the other person that they don't have to do anymore. Physical touch. Now, this does not only mean intimacy, that is a part of it, but it could mean hugs, kisses, cuddling, holding hands in the car, holding hands on the couch, caressing your hair, scratching your back. Any form of physical touch is what physical touch means. So let's talk a little bit more about where common mistakes happen in relationships and where wires can get crossed. For example, if we have Caroline and Joseph. Caroline's top 2 love languages are touch and words of affirmation, whereas Joseph's top 2 love languages are quality time and acts of service. Caroline may think that since words are important to her, she should write Joseph a cute, loving text. Goes into detail about how she feels about him, thinks it's really, really sweet. It's what she'd like to hear from him, so she's loving him in the way that she'd like to receive love. Whereas that's nice for Joseph to receive, but it doesn't do as much for him as spending one-on-one afternoon with him, since quality time's important. And Joseph could do a similar thing where if acts of service is important to him, he could be, doing things around the house, cutting the grass, gardening, showing her that he cares by taking care of their home. Whereas she feels like she hasn't gotten a hug that day yet, she hasn't gotten a compliment yet, if words and touch are important to her. So you have to be able to remember what could make your partner feel the most loved and not what you prefer. He can still go and cut the grass and do the gardening and do things in the garage for the house, but if he gave her a compliment before he started doing that and hugged her and kissed her on his way out, that would change her mood, that would change her day, that would change how she feels. So It's all these little tiny things that you need to keep top of mind that can make or break your relationship. It can change everything. I've linked the quiz by Dr. Gary Chapman, who wrote the book, The 5 Love Languages, in the description box. It takes about 4-5 minutes to answer the questions and you find out what your top 2 love languages are, and then the rest as follows. I personally think it's a great idea to be able to know yours, do the quiz, and then be able to talk to your partner about it, let him or her know your top 2 love languages, and then either have them do the quiz or lay out the 5 and see what they gravitate more towards and resonate with. And then you guys can have that conversation about what the top 2 are and how to make yourselves feel the most loved. I think it would be super cool if you guys both know your top 2, you communicate that to each other, and then you forget about yours and you just remember your partner's. And if you both are committed towards working on your relationship and making sure that you are giving your partner what they need, then there's no need to remember your own for yourself. Your partner's got you, you've got him or her, and that should be a win-win. If both of you have memorized your partner's love languages, I can guarantee you your relationship will change. It is a game changer. It is a relationship hack that is highly underrated, and more people need to know about it. More people need to talk about it, and it needs to be top of mind. Now, we have to also remember this is not just for romantic relationships. We have love, give love, and show love to people we're not dating, right? Our friends, our family. So if you keep this top of mind to figure out, okay, my mom really likes it whenever I go over, I pick up the vacuum and I just help her out a little bit. Acts of service may be important to her. I think it's a really beautiful skill to be able to recognize and know and talk about with the people you love what is important to them and how they feel their best, and then just remember it. Write it down in their contact in your phone if you have to. If you're actively trying to make your relationships better and have the best possible friendships and relationships, romantic, not romantic, all relationships are about communication. Don't be afraid to communicate what it is that you need and vice versa. Ask what your partner needs. Ask what your friends need to be more supportive. Ask what your people need around you. And even communicating for yourself, you are going to feel so understood, and that's all we want, right? All of us want to be accepted, understood, connected, loved, and we just need to express ourselves properly. So I'm here to remind you of that. I know that communication is not easy for everybody. I know it takes practice. Some people, it comes in more naturally to others to express themselves, but I promise you, you feel so much better after you do. Take baby steps. If it's hard for you to verbalize it, write it down, send a note, write it in your journal until you're able to express yourself properly. Take some baby steps, because keeping it inside is not going to get you anywhere, and you need to be able to push past that fear of expressing yourself. I think a great way to think about relationships is like an oil tank. What happens when you are running out of oil or you have no oil left in your car? Things start to fall apart. I think because, and this is what Gary Chapman says in his book, is that real love takes effort. Falling in love doesn't. So once you fall in love, that is when the real effort starts. You are in a relationship, you are in a committed relationship, engaged, married. The love has to continue, and you need to pour energy into that. When the peak stage of falling in love is over, that is when loving starts. And I feel like a common line that we hear often is, why is he or she so needy? Why do they need this? Why do I have to do this? Why are they asking for this? It's literally the easiest explanation to that. There is a miscommunication or a lack of communication in what each other needs. If A is calling B needy, it's because A doesn't know what B needs. So B needs to either express themselves properly, and A needs to want to know what to give that person. So there's got to be a mutual level of seeking to understand each other. B is feeling unloved. A is feeling confused because they don't know why this person needs all these things, when really there's top 2 for everybody. For most people, there are top 2. Some people, there are more. Some people, there are really just one dominant one. You got to figure that out with your partner. But clearly, B is feeling unloved because they are not receiving what it is that they need. Either they're not receiving number 1 or number 2 or any of them. People that call other people needy simply are lacking information. It's like a reverse math equation. You have the answer, but now you just need to spend time finding your way to that answer. What are the best ways to show my appreciation with gifts? What are the best ways to show my appreciation with quality time? What are things that work? What are things that don't work? Just got to spend some time getting your formula together, and bam, you have your answer. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found this useful and found a couple little nuggets you can use to better your relationships. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.